Hello guys. Today I will be telling a story of a girl who survived. Japanese urban legend called teketeke. Lamau, it's not actually pronounced that. It's just the voice lady. But anyways, this story is fiction. But the legend is true. Here is a bit of her background. Teketeke, a Japanese Henri. She is or was a schoolgirl with no lower body. She has no lower body because she was hit by a train, splitting her body. Whenever someone encounters her, she cuts their body in half. Some say she does this because she's in search to find her lower body. Since Teketeke has no lower body, she travels on her arms and hands. Despite that, she goes quite fast. She lurks in areas near train stations. She gets her name from the sound she creates when she moves around. When she's near, you will hear that sound. The sound is basically nails tapping the ground. Something like Anyways, let's get on with the story. Hi, my name is Akari. I go to a local high school in Japan. I don't have much friends at school, but that doesn't bother me. I have a loving family which I love more than my life. One day at school I was studying as usual, when suddenly the popular kids came up to me. Gosh, I hated every one of them. The girl with the ugly blonde hair leaned on my desk. "Hey guys, look who it is," she said mockingly. "Little miss, too smart for school," she said, laughing with her gang. It wasn't even funny. What's wrong with these people? What do you want? Just get to the point, I said. Oh, someone's in a hurry, she chuckled. I got up ready to leave, but she harshly sat me down. Don't try to mess with us, or you know what happens next. I rolled my eyes at such statement. Anyways, I need you to write all the test answers coming up. Like I would listen, I suddenly stopped mid-sentence. Wait, I have a plan to stop these weird bastards. Fine, whatever you say, I said in a defeated tone. She smirked and walked off laughing with her gang. This is going to be fun, I smiled to myself. The day of the test came. I had all my cheat sheets written down for them. I gave it to them and sat down for the test. After 5 to 7 minutes, the principal walked in. I have been notified that some kids are cheating, he spoke. I stood up proudly and pointed to those kids. It's them. What, of course not, the blonde girl spoke with fear in her voice. The female teacher checked the girls and the principal checked the guys. After they found my cheat sheets, they were sent straight to the office. The principal walked over to me and smiled. Thanks for informing us. Guys, if anything like this happens to you, don't be afraid to tell us, he said. He walked away, and we continued with our test. 2 weeks later, the brats came back from suspension. I acted strong in front of them, but I was scared. They eyed me everywhere I went, which only grew my fear. I stayed in after school because I had some assignments to finish. After about 6:30, I got up to leave. I reached the train station, but no one was there when suddenly I saw them. They surrounded me with big smirks on their face. Didn't I warn you to not mess with us? The blonde said. She walked up to me and slapped me right across the face, causing me to fall down. Beat her up till she can't recognize her own face. Maybe that'll teach her. I wanted to get up and run, but I felt weak. Before I knew it, my hair was getting pulled. I was getting harmed bad. After a few minutes of this, they picked me up and were about to throw me on the rail track, when suddenly we heard a sound and stopped. And that's when we saw a half-bodied girl, on her hands, crawling towards us in such speed. She reached some kids before me, and in a blink, their lower body was gone. The people who were holding me dropped me and screamed, running away. She ran after them, and I considered this my chance to run away. My whole body was weak, but I slowly ran the opposite way. Before I exited the train station, I remember seeing her looking at me and giving me a smirk before she disappeared. The next day I didn't go to school because I needed to heal from the wounds. But I got the news about the kids that bullied me. They were all dead. While I was in bed, I still couldn't stop thinking about her. So I decided to research about her. The more I knew about her, the more I became afraid. It is said that if you made eye contact with teketeke, you are destined to die. Nobody seemed to know the solution or who she properly was. I was frustrated when suddenly my elder cousin walked in. "Hey, you're so wounded but you still won't get off your devices," she said, and snatched my laptop. "Hey," I shouted in surprise and annoyance. "What is this?" she asked with wide eyes looking at the search. "It's none of your business," I said, trying to snatch the laptop back. She suddenly looked at me with a serious face. "Why are you searching about her?" I gave her an annoyed expression and tried to dismiss the conversation. "Look, this is serious. Did you see her?" she asked me. Yes, I did see her, but I ran away," I said. She hurriedly closed the door and sat next to me. "You know you can die within these 3 days. This is very serious," she spoke. I don't know what to do. I don't know anything about her. I know nothing. I spoke with tears in my eyes. "I'm gonna die, aren't I?" I asked her. "No, of course not," she said, comforting me. "We'll find a solution, okay?" After this, we researched about her a lot and collected all the evidence we could. We found out that she killed herself because she was bullied and or raped. This is the reason she absolutely hates the color red. After much research, we decided to go and visit someone who may know more. Someone who can help me escape her. We reached the house of the woman who would help us. We sat down. Her house was odd, dark, weird, and uncomfortable. Hello. Me and my cousin are here because of my cousin got cut off." "I know why you're here," the old woman said, giving me chills all over my body. "Well, can you help us?" my cousin asked. I don't know much and neither do I know the proper solution." "But aren't you her sister? You should know," my cousin said in slight anger. This made the woman mad. I tried to calm my cousin down a bit. "Don't show me attitude, you idiot. Nobody knows the solution," she shouted. I then calmly spoke to her. "We're so sorry, but we don't have much time." "It's fine, but I do know that after her death her grave was put up to honor her. But after a while, the kids who bullied her knocked it out. And after that, the cases of people being cut in half started," she said. "Wait, so maybe if we put the grave back up, I will survive, right?" I asked. "I don't know any better, but I think so too," the old woman spoke. "Wait, so if you knew this then, why didn't you do it?" my cousin asked. "I was afraid. Some people tried but she reached them, and they were dead." "So when can we do this?" I asked. "I would say as quick as possible, or otherwise she'll kill you before you put it up." "Is it possible that you can come and help us?" my cousin asked her. "Yes, I will come. I don't have much to live for anyways," the old woman said. We started preparing to go. We made sure to not wear any red. I covered up all the wounds on my body properly, so the red wouldn't show. We left off. I was extremely nervous. Was this really going to work? We got to a place, but there was nothing but forests and trees there. "Are you sure this is the place?" my cousin asked in doubt. "Of course, I put up the grave," the woman replied. "Now be quiet and follow me." We followed her deeper in the woods. It was getting darker, and I was losing hope, but we found it. As soon as we touched the grave, we started hearing her. I got worried. We started hurrying up, but the grave was heavy. Before we knew it, she was right in front of us. She tried to crawl over to us, but the old woman, her sister, stood in front. We both stared at each other, like the environment had softened. We took this as a chance to put up the grave while she was distracted. The old woman stepped up, not noticing the branch in front of her. The branch scarred her forehead, and blood immediately gushed out. The blood triggered teketeke, so jumped toward her sister. And before we knew, the old woman's upper body lied by itself on the floor. She then glanced at us and jumped over to kill us. But we put up the grave in time. The half body of hers slowly turned into ashes and fell on the ground. We let out a sigh of relief and sat there for a few minutes to honor her. The whole incident traumatized me and I still remember every part of it. But after this, the death stopped. We made sure to visit her and her sister's grave every year. And that was the story on how I survived the teketeke. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Before I end this video, I want you to know that this story is fictional. This story is inspired by the movies made on teketeke. I would recommend to watch this movie because it's pretty cool. Bye guys, thank you for watching. Recommend any other urban legends that you'd want to hear about. Like, share and subscribe.